Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Lecture Notes. So today I'll be explaining a poem Ulysses which is written by Lord Alfred Tennyson. So first of all I would like to tell you about this poem. Ulysses was a legendary Greek hero whose heroic deeds and adventures are Ulyssized by Homer in his poem Odyssey. In this poem, Tennyson portrays the mariners of Ulysses in his old age. Tennyson Ulysses has been said as an embodiment of modern passion for knowledge, for exploration of limitless field, for annexation of new kingdom. This character Ulysses has been borrowed from Homer's Odysseus, where he has been shown as a voyager or an explorer. Similarly, here Tennyson is also showing Ulysses in his old age, who is looking for knowledge, trying to find something new, exploring the new world. He's shown as to be a modern person who embodies knowledge, science, and has a inherent mean to explore the world. Secondly, it is a dramatic monologue. What is a monologue? Monologue means a single person is speaking throughout the poem. That is Ulysses is speaking throughout the poem without any conversation or without any a single word uttered by someone else. Thirdly, it is written in the memory of a friend, that is Arthur Hallam. Tennyson wrote this poem after his friend Arthur Hallam died. So clearly, it is written in his memory, starting with the lines, "It little profits that an idle king, by this still hearth among these barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I met and dole unequal laws into a savage race that hoard and sleep and fed and know not me." So, looking at the first line, little profits, that gaining wealth is little profits from him, and what is the real profit is exploring the world. Idle king, that how he doesn't want to become the stereotypical king who sits on his throne and only tell what people should do. He wants to be the king who does the thing and not the one who tells the people to do. By the still hearth among these barren cages, hearth here means fireplace. Here it is referred to family lifestyle which is dull and inactive for him, and barren cracks again referring to the common lifestyle which is enjoyed by the king, matched with an aged wife. So he speaks of his wife dismissively as aged, and if he dislikes her growing older, he probably dislikes growing older himself. Finally, he is disconnected because he cannot rest from travel. Rather than embracing his duties as king, essentially putting away his youthful ambitions, he wishes he was still exploring the world as he did when he was young man. For Ulysses, settling down isn't restful and restorative, but rather stifling, an unwelcome reminder of his impending morality. So, aged wife, he's also self-realizing that he is growing with time, he's aging with time, which he doesn't want to accept. And when he was young, he used to travel a lot, and he still wants to do the same thing that he used to do when he was young. Unequal laws into savage race. So he's referring to his race, his people as the savage race. So he wants to say that I'm not the person who will just sit on the throne and dictate the people what to do. I'm the person who would like to travel throughout the world and conquer the world through hoard and sleep and feed and know not me. So he clearly denies that I'm not the stereotypical king who will collect the money from his people and collect the money and will think that what he would do in future. He is the person who lives in the present and wants to explore the countries. So Ulysses has discovered that home is not enough to make him happy. Paradoxically, his years spent traveling to return home did not make him love that home. It made him love travel and adventure more. So clearly, home is not a happy place for him. Constantly moving and exploring new places is a thing for him. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, I have suffered greatly. both with those that loved me and alone on shore, and when through scuddling drifts the rainy hates. So he proclaims that he cannot rest from travel, but feels compelled to live to the fullest and swallow every last drop of life. And he says that life to the least, that he wants to enjoy every breath that he is living on the earth, and he won't stop till his last breath. He has enjoyed all his experiences as a sailor who travels the sea, and he considers himself the symbol of everyone who wanders and roams on earth. So he says that as long as he's alive, he doesn't want to stop doing the things that in his eyes make life worth living. He found joy, he claims, in every moment he spent traveling, even at the times when he was suffering. He found joy both when he was with his faithful crew members and when he was by himself, both when he was on land, when he was sailing the sea through rainstorm. So he says that his journey of adventure won't stop because of the hurricanes or because of weather, or whether he's alone or whether he's faithful to, that nothing in his life can stop him from exploring the world. So through subsequent drifts, the rainy haze. So haze here refers to the group of five stars, and it is believed when the stars rise, it indicates approaching storm and rain, indicating that how no one can stop him from traveling the world now also. So clearly denying that whether it is a human, nature, or God, nobody can stop him if he wants to travel the world. Vex the dim sea, I am because a name for always roaming with a hungry heart. Much I have seen and known, cities of man and manners, climates, council, governments, myself not least, but honored of them all. So I have become a name in the first line refers to that he is happy to associate his name and voyager and traveler as compared to the king of Ithaca. He is happy to be called the name of a traveler. He's happy to be known as a traveler rather than the king of Ithaca. Roaming with hungry heart, that he does feel that his life voyage has come to an end, and his heart and soul still wants to take more adventure. That still his heart is not fulfilled with his voyages and his exploration. He still wants every drop to sink in, every new place to get in his mind and heart. Much I have seen and known cities of man, that he has traveled so much places that he know every country, manners, climate. He knows much about whole world. His travels have exposed him to many different types of people and ways of living. So clearly, Tennyson Ulysses has been truly said to be an embodiment of the modern passion of knowledge for the exploration of its limitless field, for the annexation of new kingdoms of science and thought. Because he is the one who is clearly stating that I have traveled much in my past life and I would like to continue it, and drunk delight of battle with my peers, far on the ringing plains of windy Troy. I am part of all that I have met, yet all the experience is an arc with Eartho, gleams the unraveled world whose margin fades forever and forever when I move. So he says that I am part of all that I have met, means I have cleared myself and my journey has created me. That he has self discovered himself, also reference to the imperialism here, that he has established rules wherever he goes, and he is not a mere traveler, but he is a colonizer. He is not going there to adapt the cultures or see what the people are up to, how different are the people in the next country. He's there to colonize it and make that country his own. In Arc Vidarto, he compares knowledge to an arc entrance through which a man catches a glimpse of lands that he has not visited. Seeing those lands through the arc, he begins to travel towards them, but as he goes further and further, those regions also begin to recede into distance. He implies that more he travels, the more he realizes that he has yet to travel far ahead. Similarly, if a man has acquired some knowledge, he comes to know that there is much more knowledge to acquire. So gleams that unraveled world whose margin fades forever and forever when I move. So he says that I have traveled a lot and I need to travel furthermore because there is a no stop in discovering the world. How dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburied, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life, life piled on life, were all too little and of one to me. Little remains, but every hour is saved from the internal silence, something more. To make an end is to dull the boundaries of various nations, that how he's conquering from one place to another. How dull it is to pause to make an end. So he doesn't want to pause, he doesn't want to make a stop, he wants to conquer whole world till he is alive. To rust in use is the lines taken from Shakespeare Hamlet, which does show that Tennyson was inspired from Shakespeare works. Just to eat, breathe is no life for Ulysses. He has realized that action is keynote of life because life is inactivity is not for him. So he's clearly not accepting the inactive life of an old person or an old king. He's ready to conquer the world or explore the world till his last breath. So Ulysses believed that knowledge is unlimited and not only one but series of lives are also less to attain all knowledge. So he clearly accepts that in one life he will not be able to gain everything or control everything, but still he wants to explore till his last breath. He says that every hour that one can spend in activity takes us or gives us more time away from grave. Were all too little and one to me little remains, but every hour is saved. So clearly he's focusing that every hour of the day, every single second should be used in a productive way and not sitting lethargically as a stereotypical king who only decides what the people should do and doesn't decide what he should do. Eternal silence, something more, refers to death. He still needs to explore before finally his death. So, in this poem, he's accepting that he's growing old, though he's disliking it, but he also accepts that he's growing old and the death is near. But he's also telling that I won't uh, ex- give an excuse that my old age is the reason that I should stay at home. He shows that how at old age also he wants to travel more and more, a bringer of new things, and while it were for some 3 sons to store and hoard myself, and this grey spirit yearning and desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thoughts. The 3 sons here refers to 3 years. He believes that he has 3 years more or less, and it would be stupid of him if he sits and hoards. So every hour of human life is valuable if he is gaining something knowledgeable in that hour. First, in the last paragraph, it makes it clear that every second should be valuable, but if we gain knowledge, and then he says that more or less he has 3 years, and in those 3 years he won't waste it. He will gain more knowledge. So he says knowledge is like a sinking star reaching out to something unreachable because only way to combat the limits of the self. So he's extending his limits. He's accepting his old age, but he's not accepting that old age should be an excuse for him to sit at his home. He would like to follow knowledge beyond the human contact, just like a man who tries to follow the dropping star. So sinking star here refers to that he knows that his age is going up and he might die soon, but still he wants to follow his art and travel more. So thank you for watching this video. This is the part 1 in which I have explained half of the poem. In part 2, I'll be explaining the rest of the poem.